You are watching the After Hours Gaming League, cast by myself, Totalbiscuit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the After Hours Gaming League. It's brought to you by Day9.tv. My name is Totalbiscuit, casting this particular series for you, and I bring you the one and only Hero, or Hyro. We're going to call him a hero for the time being. There's all sorts of puns we can pull off there. He is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Protoss to the east of the Shattered Temple, versus his opponent, the one and only Tanke. He is in the pink trunks, and he is also playing Protoss to the west, and he is playing for Team Facebook. His opponent is to say playing for Team Yelp, and they're currently one apiece in this best of 5 series. Interesting fact, Hero's actual name is John Madden. That's unfortunate. Or is it good? I don't know. Would you get ribbed on at school for that, or would you be considered some kind of hero? Who knows? Well, whatever the case, PvP is often short and to the point. So let's find out exactly what's going to be happening right here. Yes, that is extremely likely. Or it could be Proxy 2 Gateway, you never know. Yes, Proxy 2 Gate versus Proxy 2 Gate, probably the most boring builds ever. We shall find out one way or the other. I have a feeling some trolling might be going on right here. Ah, yes, the patented 4 Stargate opening. Totally unviable. But brave, nonetheless. Very brave. Hyro not going for a gateway just yet. He will, however. This gateway's going to be quite late. 14 supply. The best thing about this game is the chat, let's be honest. The absolute best thing. This is what some of the most highly paid IT professionals in the field do in their off time. Well, you need it, don't you? It's a very, very stressful position. Long hours. Very demanding. You gotta blow some steam somehow, and this is a good way to do it. Especially since this is for charity right here. If you want to find out more, go over to afterhoursgaming.tv. Hyro scouts and is just hanging around. There we go. He will spot a cybernetics score. This is TS Tanke with a very interesting position on his buildings. Sort of a slab of Protoss. Delicious slab of medium rare Protoss. How could you not like it? Hero, on the other hand, or Hyro. We're still going to go with Hero. I don't care if it's Hyro. It's Hero to me. What can I say? There goes my hero. Doing absolutely nothing at the moment, which is to be expected. 4-gate is a real possibility one way or the other. They're both sort of gearing up for it. They've both only got 1 gas. There's a second gas going down for Hero, however, so you never know. All sorts of things might be coming. That's not to say that it won't be a 4-gateway play. A 2-gas 4-gateway play is entirely reasonable and entirely feasible. TS Tanke chrono boosting right now on the Cybernetics score. Needs to maybe do that again if he wants to. He's got plenty of chrono boost sitting there. Any time now would be good. 2 more gateways down for TS Tanke, and now I believe looking for another. There you go. And that is the play from TS Tanke. The question is, what's Hyro going to do about it? Right now, absolutely nothing. He has grabbed this second simulator right here. That could be his undoing. Unless he's able to get out an early immortal or something along those lines. This could end up being very, very messy. There's the chrono boost, nicely timed there by TS Tanke. It looks like he should get his gateways finished around the right time. They're going to be a little bit late. Doesn't matter too much. That is a TS Tanke pylon in his expansion. And right now, perhaps looking to deploy here. Hyro still actually hasn't got anything other than a second gateway coming up, which means he will lose this immediately if he's not careful. He can get some sentries out, and that's exactly what he's doing. There we go, 2 more gateways. This is a very, very late 4-gate. And it's also a double gas 4-gate, which means it's going to be more sentry heavy. He does scout the 4 gates, however. He knows what's coming. Got the scout in there very nicely, and TS Tanke now in a situation where he's going to have to pretty much do or die. If Hyro's allowed to get his defense up and he has his own 4-gate and more sentries than his opponent, then he could win it. It really does depend, honestly. Depends how good the force fields really are. Hyro's response is to actually get a forge as well. He's going to be putting some cannons down, I would imagine, to try and hold this. TS Tanke will get aggressive. There's plenty of places to deploy a pylon right here. 3 sentries up. He can prevent the attack for a little while. And that's going to be very, very nice for him indeed. He does have the gas. And I wouldn't be surprised to see more sentry warp-ins, honestly, simply due to the amount of gas it's got versus the amount of minerals. And now these 3 sentries with a good amount of energy should be able to hold this off. Going down is not a good idea. That's... No. Don't do that. That's terrible. In the meantime, TS Tank expanding behind this. That's a smart thing to do, considering. He'll be able to apply some real pressure right here, but with the amount of sentries on the field, I would be a little bit concerned. I wouldn't want to go up there either without an observer and some blink stalkers, or something along those lines. Hyro can just sit there for the time being, but he will be starved on one base, and he has been contained. If he wants to get aggressive, he's going to have to do so with a reasonably sized force. TS Tanke is not sitting on a huge army. Hyro does have the slight advantage, but a lot more sentries there, so a little bit less firepower. TS Tanke has more stalkers, so it's risky one way or the other. Pylons deployed, the forge went up. Hyro's going for the +1 upgrade. It'll give him the edge in the fight, certainly, but I'd just be concerned about the fact that he's going to sit on one base for so long. Unless he can counter-attack in a very strong way, then he might be in trouble. TS Tanke is about to gain a tech advantage, robotics facility on the way up, and there's the completion on the expansion. TS Tanke decides, well, you know what? I just don't want to hang around here anymore. I don't like it. I want to change of pace, change of scenery. I'm going to go live in the country for a while. Right now, if we have a look at the economic situation, it's currently 29 probes to 29. And in the meantime, Hyro did get himself into the base. Didn't do a huge amount with it. He's actually warping in from this pylon right here, trying to get a bit aggressive. No real damage done as of yet. We can have a look at units killed. Very few. Here comes the second warp in from Hyro. Admittedly, he's going to end up getting trapped here if he's not careful. TS Tanke might look for the force field. Or maybe not. There we go. He gets the force field. Unfortunately, it's not quite where it needs to be, and Hyro easily evades. Hyro takes himself a sentry as well, and will now back off. Looking for an expansion of his own, and that is a weird position for it. That is a very risky position for it. Going to be hard to defend if he decides to go for that. Proxy pylon's still there. It is. Hyro could continue to harass if he so desires. In the meantime, another pylon coming down right here from TS Tanke. Did he seriously just... Oh my god, he actually slipped past. That is sneaky. Incredibly sneaky. That hidden expansion is an interesting maneuver. However, TS Tanke is now gaining a very significant economic advantage. It's got hallucination coming up as well. An immortal coming on the field for Hyro, who is now building a second robotics facility or one base. Interesting. It could work, certainly. Plenty of immortals out. Getting a Twilight Council as well, as opposed to getting a robotics bay. So he's not going for any Colossus. It's a very odd play right here by Hyro. Once he starts mining for 4 gas, he can certainly support those 2 facilities. No doubt about that. It's still curious. No, that's actually TS Tanke going for robotics bay. Interesting. Well, he certainly can. He's got 4 gas right now. He's got a major economic lead. His army size looking pretty good as well. Slightly larger than Hyro's. In the meantime, he's just going to hang around and see what he can see. The 4 gateway pressure just absolutely failed at the start, but he's got good map control. He's got good pylon placement, and he's got a pylon in the corner of his opponent's natural, which is absolutely perfect if he wants to go for, say, any kind of DT play. It's not going to come, though. TS Tanke does not have a Twilight Council. Charge upgrade coming in for Hyro right now, who's now mining from this base. He does have those 2 robotics facilities up, but he's not mining any of these gas, so building an awful lot from that is going to be very difficult. Immortals are extremely expensive. Could, of course, be some kind of warp prism play. TS Tanke now with his first Colossus coming in. The severe lack of Colossus from Hyro is going to be problematic for him in the long run. Immortals will help. There's no real doubt about that. He does have 2, and he's looking for a 3rd, but still, I would be a little bit concerned. It's worrisome. Colossus do tend to define later game PvP. Now the question is Hyro going to roll out? If he does, he'll probably meet some fairly stiff resistance. Got more warp-ins coming in from him. He doesn't really have what he needs to apply big pressure. This hidden base up at the top is going to be useful. However, the thing is, TS Tanke knows that his opponent has no expansion here, so he must be thinking right now, he's got a hidden expo. The question is, where is it? At this stage, there's just no way. It would be absolutely absurd for an opponent to be on one base at 13 minutes into the game in a PvP. It's just not going to happen. Upgrades on the way for TS Tanke as well, who's sitting on a really nice force. Those Immortals could define this engagement, though, so we're about to find out. If he goes in before too many Colossus are up, it could help. He does have Zealot Charge, which will be useful, but TS Tanke has a lot of Zealots, so I don't know just how effective those Immortals are really going to be. looking for yet more proxy pylons, discovering them quite nicely, and there's another expansion coming out. Yes, indeed, you are seeing 3 expansions in a Protoss v Protoss game. TS Tank A getting a little bit supply blocked, nothing that he can't alleviate immediately. Hyro fairly happy about how things are going. TS Tank A, however, should be able to scout. He must now suspect that an expansion will be put down. I'm just very, very surprised that he hasn't thought there's going to be a hidden expansion. I mean, really now. Now finally going to scout and will no doubt find it eventually. If he heads up there, which I assume he is going to do, and that is indeed his plan. More Colossus coming on the field. 3 Colossi looking at it right now, once he's got this one complete. TS Tank A looking in a great position in terms of the size of his army. His economy is starting to flag a little bit in comparison to his opponent, but he's still ahead. Once his 3rd base goes up, he might not be. Hasn't looking to take anything just yet. There's nothing really stopping him from breaking his way through here. He doesn't know about this pylon yet. Shame there's no Dark Templar available. That could be very damaging. A Dark Templar warp in there could have worked out very well. And Hyro now looking to take map control. TS Tank A once again supply blocked as a result of another proxy pylon being taken out. And here we go. It's Immortals versus Colossus right here. We'll have to see just how effective this can be. A lot of Zealots coming in. Big fire right now. The Immortals need to start focusing on the Stalkers, and they need to start shooting at those Colossus immediately. Otherwise, he will lose this engagement. Not looking good right now for Hyro, and 3 Immortals still on the field. The Colossus taking some fire. Needs to bring those down immediately, and now the Immortals finally getting some big kills in. However, the Zealots charging into the Immortals. 2 kills on that one, and 3 kills on that one, but TS Tank A takes that engagement in a convincing fashion. Both Colossus actually remain alive as well, so that's a great situation for him to be in. And now TS Tank A can push out and take out this base of Hyro right here, and there's really not a lot that Hyro can actually do to stop him. He has very little in terms of his army. As you can see, army supply is 14 to 47. TS Tank A will now look to smash this hidden base, which he will be able to do without any problems. And that, once again, puts Hyro in a really bad position. Yes, yes, indeed, he found it. Now TS Tank A looking to engage and got that mineral line. He's going to do so with great gusto, no doubt. Down goes the pylon. That's no power for your cannon, I'm afraid. And 1 free Nexus. He'll hide in the corner. I have to wonder if TS Tank A will let him get away with that. I'm thinking possibly not. It's a shame there's no real counterplay coming right here from Hyro, who still has no Colossus. He's building a 3rd robotics facility and a robotics bay. Running 3 robotics facilities off of that many bases is a little dodgy, I have to say. Hyro now losing a ton of probes, and there's nothing he can really do to stop that either. Now the supply difference, 62 to 129. Not ideal. Breaking his way through these rocks right here. He'll be able to take a base over here, but still, it's difficult. TS Tank A sitting on 2 bases. He's not too worried at all. He could very easily take a 3rd if he so desires. His army supply is big enough to just win the game right now if he decides to attack. But he hates the proxy pylon more, so he's just going to destroy that before he does anything else. Maybe take the 3rd. He's got plenty of money. He's sitting on good tech. He can build 2 Colossi simultaneously. And Hyro is in a fairly terrible position, all things considered. His army got smashed. He lost his hidden base. That hidden base would have given him the edge in the long run, but sadly it was not to be. This is not really the ideal map for having a hidden base on. It is not that large in terms of the 4-player maps. And now that's, what, 5 Colossus on the field. That's not pleasant. +1 armor upgrade coming in as well. I believe he has an upgrade advantage. In fact, I would be incorrect. He does not have an upgrade advantage, but he does have a massive army supply advantage, 98 to 37, and TS Tank A now looking to end it, and he certainly can if he wants to. All he needs to do is really attack move into his opponent's base, and he wins. There's really no doubt about that. That engagement for his opponent was disastrous, honestly. Hyro really did not do well in that engagement at all, and TS Tank A now looking to take the series 2-1 for Facebook, going into the final matchup. Gravitic boosters coming up for TS Tank A because, well, why not? I've got a ton of money, I might as well spend it. That'll be a free cannon right now, and Zealot's going to charge into being dead. There we go, a good rearrangement there by TS Tank A, who absolutely has the firepower he needs to break this without too much of a problem. Hyro with a last-ditch attempt to hold the line, but the Colossus lasers smashing their way through everything. I'm sorry, but Hyro is not going to be able to hold that. No, no, no. And there goes our hero, ladies and gentlemen. Hyro annihilated, GG, and TS Tank A is now taking Facebook into the lead, 2-1 in this best-of-5 series.